Assalamu alaikum. Today we're in lesson number 4 and we are going to do prepositions in Arabic. This is huruf al-jarr. So if you recall, any word in Arabic can either be one of the three things. It can either be an ism, or it can be a fi'l, or it can be a harf, right? So ism is a noun or a pronoun combined together. Fi'l is a verb. On harf is anything that is neither an ism nor a harf, nor a fi'l, is a harf. Okay, and so this is essentially the bulk of all the harf are essentially prepositions, and like is, in, on, towards, with, so prepositions need another word to make sense. They're always incomplete when used in themselves. So we're going to do prepositions in Arabic. If you recall, in Arabic, any word that we are talking about, it can, if you know how to read Arabic, it can either have a dhamma on top, right, or it can have a fatha on the top, or it can have a kasra on the top, at the bottom, right? So it can have one of these three things, or maybe the tanween, double it, from u it becomes un, right? From a it becomes an. So if you make it double, but it's one of the three things. And in general, the general principle, if you want to know the general principle, is that when there is a dhamma on the top, it is essentially saying that this is a subjective case. So the word is actually being used in subject state. If you remember from the previous recordings, that there could be a noun can be a subject in a sentence, or it can be an object, right? Or it can be a case of possession. So this is what dhamma basically indicates, that it's a subject case, it's a subjective case. If there is a fatha, it indicates that this is actually an objective case. The noun is being used as an object, and these are actually indications. So these are always in general. It need not be always the case. And whenever there is a kasra at the bottom of any letter, or at the last letter of any word, it basically means that there is a preposition before the word, or it is preceded by a preposition. Preposition is nothing but harf jar. So this is actually the thing, about harf jar. Jar is basically coming from jarrun, which means neighbor. And the thing is, preposition is always a neighbor, and these are, for example, some of the important prepositions found in the Quran. So if you see, we will be discussing some prepositions in this lesson, in lesson number 7, and we'll also be discussing some prepositions in lesson number 8. So this is lesson number 7, and here, for example, if you have a number of different prepositions, for example, ila, right? Ila means to, or towards, towards something. Similarly, we have ala. Ala means on something, or upon something. Similarly, we have one more, which is bi, right? For example, the common example that we can think of is bismi, right? Bismi Bi plus ism plus Allah. It's three things, right? So Bismillah. So this is bi, and we also have fi. Fi means in something, fi. So fi something. So there are certain important points, when we are thinking of these prepositions in the Quran, or these huruf, these harf jars. First thing is that they are always followed by a noun or a pronoun, right? So you don't expect a verb there. It's a noun or a pronoun. Like ala something, ala a noun or a pronoun. Bi, it must be followed by a noun or a pronoun. Like ism, bi plus ism is basically, it's a noun. Bi plus, right? Sorry, my Arabic writing is not that good. So bi plus ismu. So this is what makes it bismi. So yeah, and the second point that's important, that they have their own meaning, right? I mean, of course, ilah has its own meaning. Bi plus, bi has its own meaning, but it has an effect on the following noun and the pronoun. And what is the effect? So one of the most apparent effect is that it will convert the harkat that's on the last letter of the word, which will usually be, dhamma or u, into a kasra. So bi plus ismu becomes, right? It becomes bismi. So it becomes bismi. So the important thing to note here is that it's in kasra state. Here it was in fatha, in dhamma state, right? So this is the effect that these these nouns, these prepositions will have on both the noun as well as the pronoun. We'll discuss the pronouns a little later. So some of the example is following here, like fi plus Allah, yani in Allah, becomes fillahi. So the u becomes e. So who becomes he. So fillahi, bismillahi, right? So because there is a bi before that. Another example is bi plus kitabun, basically saying with book, or it can also mean in a book. I mean, it's not rigid. So bi kitabun becomes bi kitabin, right? So again you have the change here, like ala plus ardu, meaning upon the earth, right? Ala plus ard becomes alal ardi, alal ardi. So again this change. And ila plus rasul, rasulun becomes ila rasulin. So again, so this is the change that happens, right, in harf jar, right? So this is how things change. So if you find any word, any noun or something, which is having a kasra at the bottom, most likely it's going to be preceded by a harf jar, right? So this is essentially showing connectivity, that fi is actually related to Allah. So fillahi. So yeah, this is what we have here. Now some more, if we look at the same prepositions, but this time we are connecting them to a pronoun instead of noun, right? So we are talking about a pronoun. So of course we will be using attached pronouns, right? Because attached pronouns are the ones that get attached. So some examples are like, if you have a who, like who, huma, hum, if you remember. So who is, third person male singular, three things. So bihi, so be plus who becomes bihi. Again, the change here, right? So be means with, something with. So this third person singular male can also be he, it can also be it, right? Because that's how we refer. So with it, be he. Similarly, if we have fi plus huma, so if you remember, huma is, third person. It can either be male or female, but it is dual, right? So in two, we are talking about two people. So in them, but them is two. So this essentially becomes fi hima. So again, notice the change has occurred in the ha, not on the last letter, right? Of the attached pronoun. So this u became a he here. So this is not fi humi. Just let it sink. Understand? This is not fi humi. This is fi hima. So the u becomes the kasra. So the dhamma becomes the kasra. Similarly here, if you see, we have ala plus hunna. So if you remember, hu huma hunna. So this is third person female plural, right? So ala hunna becomes alayhinna. So two things happen. So initially, this there is a sukoon here. So alay. So this is the ya is not pronounced here. It's ala. But when we are connecting the two, this ya becomes activated. It is now pronounced because it's connected to something. So it becomes alai. And again, the dhamma will become the kasra. So alayhinna, right? So ala is upon, so upon them. Them is plural and most likely and female. Alayhinna. Similarly, we have ila, two words. So ilahum. So this is hu, huma, hum, right? So third person male plural. So again, this ya will become active and this dhamma will become a kasra. So ilayhinna. So ilayhim, right? So this is the change that happens here. So these are how these pronouns are, these prepositions, these harf jarr are connected to nouns. If you remember, these are how they are connected to noun, and this is how they are connected to a pronoun. So some important pointers here, that this is very important, that these prepositions have this effect when we are connecting them to the pronoun only on the third person pronoun, right? So if you see this, right, this is what, if you try to break this down, this is ila plus ka. So this is ila plus ka, right? So it did not become ilaiki, right? The fatha on ka is still the same, right? So again, so ila plus ka, right? It became, again, it continued to be ilaika. It did not become ilaiki. So this effect, right, of converting the dhamma into a kasra only happens for third person pronouns. These are the third person pronouns, which you see here. These are the third person pronouns. It does not happen on the second person pronouns. So alayhi is correct, right? There has to be this, because this is ala plus hu. So alayhi, right? Third person, but not ilayka, right? One more thing is salamu alaykum. So ala plus kum, ku kuma kum, right? Second person, plural. Salam be upon you all. So kum did not become kim, alai kim. That's not there. It's alaikum, right? So these are the examples, right, of these prepositions coming with nouns or pronouns. So if you're talking about nouns, let's do some example. So this is amanna billahi wa bil yawmil akhiri, right? So amanna billahi, right? So B plus Allahu became billahi. Wa bil yawmil akhir. So this yawmil akhiri is essentially it's the same thing, it's the same word. And here you again have a preposition, a harf jar, bi. So bil yawmi, again yawmil akhiri. So again the dhamma converted into kasra, and we can do other examples as well. Waqatilu fi sabilillahi. So waqatilu fi is our harf jar. So the noun that follows has to have the kasra, sabili. See this? Sabilillahi, right? And so ala qulubihim wa ala samihim, so ala, right? So here it's a connection, right? This is qulub plus hum, this word, it's a compound, so it becomes qulubihim, right? There will be a kasra because of ala on this combined word. When again ala samihim, like samih, samaun plus hum. So but there is ala before that, so it becomes samihim. There is this fatha, there is this kasra before. And similarly, we have some examples with the harf jar or the prepositions being used with pronouns, and we have many such examples. So that was with noun, right? These examples were with noun. So and here we are connecting the prepositions with the pronouns. So for example, fala isma alayhi. So alayhi, ala plus hu, alayhi, connected with pronoun, right? So this is it. And likewise you can do more examples, like for example the third one, right? Fala khawfun alayhim. Again, this is ala plus hum, alayhim, connected with the pronoun. So no fear upon them, right? Upon him. So izbasa fihim rasulan, right? So izbasa fihim. So yeah, this is it. Fi plus hum, in them. Izbasa fihim rasulan. Yeah. Last example. La junaha alayhim fi la junaha alayhinna. So ala plus hunna, alayhinna fi abaihinna. Again we have this fi abaihinna, right? So this is an example which contains both actually. This one is attached to a pronoun, and here you have a noun, right? Abaihinna. So alayhinna, on them. Abaihinna, in their fathers, yeah. So this is prepositions 1, and the next lesson also talks about prepositions, but certain different kinds of prepositions. They don't have similar effects.